Hi everyone. Welcome back. Here's the part 2 to the If They Hadn't Met, Tsukkiyama series. I hope you enjoy. Huh? Well, that was fun. Anyways, what's up with you, Tsukishima? You and all quiet and weird. Yeah, you had this dumb look on your face, a different one than usual. Shut up, let's hurry up, we're going to be late. Tsukishima exclaimed, embarrassed that he was nearly caught drooling for the stranger they had just met. Since when did he care if we were late to practice? I dunno. Anyways, race ya there. Hinata yelled as he ran towards the club room. Hey! No fear, you got a head start. Tsukkiyama ran after Hinata despite the complaint of fairness he had just made. In the gym, doesn't Tsukishima seem weird to you today? I don't know what you mean, he seems the same to me. Right. Daichi, any thoughts? Hey, don't just blow me over. He does seem a lot more quiet than usual. I wonder if something happened? Daichi, you too? Yeah, and usually I would think that's a good thing, but he's too quiet this time. I'll go ask Hinata and Tsukkiyama to see if they know something. You go ask Tsukishima, and Tanaka you can keep practicing. Fine. But only cause I want to keep practicing, not because you're telling me to. Chuckle sounds good to me. After Daichi's agreement, they all had their own direction to complete their given missions. Hey! Hinata! Tsukkiyama? Suga exclaims as he walks over to the two first years. Sugawara-san? What's wrong? Nothing much, I was just wondering if you know if something happened at Tsukishima, cause he's being unusually quiet. Huh? Now that you mention it, he does seem too quiet. But I'm not sure if anything happened? Right. Well, actually, he did bump into that guy on our way here. He bumped into a guy? Yeah. But he didn't even scream at the guy. He was weirdly quiet after bumping into him. Oh? Is that so? I think I have somewhat of an idea as to what might be happening. Really? But the only way to find out is from the man himself, so we'll have to wait and see. Tsukishima, have a moment? Yeah? You seem a little off today, everything okay? Not sure what you mean. Well, today you are more quiet than usual, and I just wanted to know if that was cause something was bothering you. Am I? There's nothing bothering me. As Tsukishima was finishing his sentence, he remembered the boy that had been occupying his mind since before practice. This caused him to mumble out the last word of the sentence, and a small blush appeared on his cheeks. Yeah, it's not something you need to worry about. He hurriedly said, trying to end the conversation as soon as possible. All right, if you say so, but you know you can always talk to us if you need help, yeah? Right. Okay, let's get back to practice then. Tsukishima sighs as Daichi leaves, glad that the conversation was over. He really didn't think that his teammates would notice the difference in his attitude, and even less that they would ask him about it. He just wanted to go home, and rethink his life choices, well, more like he wanted to try to forget the stranger from that morning, nervous that this would develop into something more deep. Once Daichi finished talking to Tsukishima, he headed over to Suga, who was waiting for him near the gym wall. So, any luck? Well, the only thing he said is that it's not something we need to worry about, Daichi said as he shrugged his shoulders. You didn't notice anything else? Oh yeah. He did kind of blushed in the middle of the conversation, but it was for a very small moment. Daichi remembered seeing Tsukishima blush. The only reason he actually noticed such small action was because he was paying attention to Tsukishima as he talked, to see if he could find any signs that he was having problems. Oh? Really? Well, that's interesting. Suga stated as he chuckled a bit. It seemed that he kind of knew what was happening, but he still stayed quiet about the matter. Well, I just hope he does talk to us if he ever needs help, or advice. I wouldn't want him to go through things alone, you know? Yeah, I agree, especially since he seems to close himself off from the world. Yeah. For the remaining time of practice, Tsukishima tried to focus on volleyball, and he tried to act how he normally would, just so that the others would get off his back and would stop worrying about him. Once practice was finished, he made his way home. As he entered his house, he was greeted by his mom saying, "Welcome home." From the kitchen, since he knew there was still some time left before dinner, he made his way to his room to try and relax. Tsukishima silently entered his room and dropped himself onto his bed, tired from practice, or at least that's what he wished he was, rather than that he was still full of energy and it was all going to the wrong places. Ugh, why can't I stop thinking about him? Tsukishima complained out loud. The whole day, and even more now, his mind has been occupied by a certain freckled boy. I mean, I only saw him once. What even is this? Rather than complaining about who he was falling for, he was complaining about the fact that he was actually growing feelings. Actually, Tsukishima had already known he was gay. He found out during his years in middle school. I mean, middle school is a great place to discover yourself, am I right? Ugh, whatever, I'm just going to do homework. The reason he was desperately trying to occupy his mind with anything but the boy was one simple thing: fear. He was scared of disappointment. He was afraid that if he started to expect even a tiny bit, that the feeling of betrayal and disappointment would come rushing in. He started to associate expectations with disappointment from an early age, thanks to a certain brother, but that's a story for another time. Tsukishima got up from his bed, and as he was making his way to his desk, he stopped to look at his mirror. Pathetic, he thought. You know that feelings are dumb and useless. So stop before you set yourself up for failure. You know that's the only way things will turn out. He said to his mirror, knowing that once he faced himself with reality, everything else will be fine, back to normal, back to the apathetic Tsukishima. Once he finished giving his advice to himself, he headed to his desk and sat down on his chair. Tomorrow everything will be back to normal, everything will be fine. Tsukishima murmured as he took out his homework and placed it on his desk. His only wish being that he would stop thinking about the boy. After all, he will never see him again, and that moment would be archived only as passing thoughts, nothing else, nothing bigger than just thoughts. Well, at least that's what he wished, but is it really what will happen? That's all for now. We now have seen Tsukishima's side, but I wonder what will happen next. And where is Yamaguchi? I guess we'll have to wait and see. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed. See you next time.
Later, okay?